began in the ghetto of Częstochowa. My mother fought to stay with Zlata, her sister. They clung to one another against the chaos sweeping throughout the neighborhood. First, they went to a work camp in Poland, but soon they were herded together yet again for another purpose. This time, they were loaded onto a train's crowded cattle cars. Rolling those endless miles of track, the train sounded ominous to the passengers. Would they be tortured? Killed? Wherever they were going, they knew it wasn't good, and the train was taking them there. For hours it moved, stopping only to take on more Jews. There was no food, no water, and no toilet facilities. For over a week they rode that train, a few bites of bread, their only meal. But the only relief they received came in a series of shouts. "Get out! Get out!" Soldiers shouted, banging on the train with their hands and their guns. "Get out!" As they got out of the train car, they left many dead or nearly dead lying on the floor behind them. They had arrived. They were at the camp of Bergen-Belsen, Germany. It was January 1940. The women were given showers and a camp outfit and then led to the barracks. The building was designed for 100 people, but each barrack would eventually house 500 to 1,000. Nourishment came at the front of a food line, a roll of bread that had to last for several days, 1 cup of black coffee, and 1 cup of watery soup, sometimes with nothing in it but grass. It seemed as if they were always being put in lines and separated, either to do jobs, or to get food, or to simply turn around and go back to the barracks. Yet lines often led to worse things than a cup of grass-filled soup and watered-down coffee. One day, as my mother waited in line with her sister Zlata and their friend Sabrina, a soldier began separating the women. You this way and you that way. Initially, the girls were separated. My mother directed to the left, while Sabrina and Zlata remained in line. Suddenly, as the line began to move forward, Sabrina grabbed my mother's arm. "She's coming with me," Sabrina said, and the guard ignored her, allowing my mother to change lines. The line my mother had been in at first went to the gas chamber. Everyone in that line was killed that day. The line that Sabrina pulled my mother into received their normal ration and went back to their barracks. Day after day, week after week, year after year, the difference between life and death could be something as simple as a guard separating people into lines, or a prisoner taking one step too close to a fence, or the random tug of a soldier's trigger finger, or the angelic action of a friend named Sabrina. God allowed Sabrina to save my mother's life that day. Had she not done that, this wouldn't be here today like this. But God knows the future. And I would have never dreamed that over 70 years ago, my mother and father were traveling on a train car from Poland to Germany to be exterminated, to be annihilated by the Nazis. Yet they survived. They gave birth to me, and I have these 3 amazing children, and we travel the world over proclaiming the name of Jesus as Messiah.